What is going on, guys? My name is Lextasy. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of us fixing our $3,000 Copart Audi S4. It's a 2013 model, supercharged and a manual transmission. Believe it or not, but all of these parts that you're seeing here right now, including the oil change, the bumper, the wheels, ran me less than $1,000, and this bad boy is going to be back on the road. Now, if you have not seen the previous video of us doing the walk around of this Copart Audi S4 that we bought for $3,000, I'll provide the link down below. Super fun to watch. It is an amazing car with 333 horsepower from factory, all-wheel drive, manual transmission, supercharged. That's the crazy thing about this car, and it's going to make it a lot of fun. And my goal is to get this thing to 500 wheel horsepower. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be like, now hold up, Alex, there's no way you got all these parts for $1,000. And quite honestly, if you watched the last video, I showed you 3 different places where I buy my parts from. Obviously, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, and car-part.com, which is where all the junkyards post all their parts up, and then you can call them directly and they got their prices listed and everything. But believe it or not, eBay came in clutch with most of these parts with the radiator support that we may actually not even need to replace. That'll save us about 150 bucks. We got the radiator, we have the hood strut, which I mean, literally I ordered everything we need. This is a hood strut that this thing is completely not working on this car with 140,000 miles. This is the end cap for the radiator. These are the fog lights that we're missing in the bumper. This is the bumper. Actually went to Atlanta about 3 hours away and picked up for dirt cheap and saved about $300, cheaper than anything else I could find on eBay, car-part, everywhere. I don't know what it is, but when you say Audi, all of a sudden you're paying the Audi taxes. And as you can tell, I do have a new set of wheels. They are a little curb rashed and need a little bit of work, and obviously new tires, but this set right here came off of an Audi 88L 2013, same as our S4. They are 19-inch wheels, so they're going to look a lot nicer on this car. And I know a lot of you are going to be like, Alex, there's no way, man, supercharged Audi and a manual transmission? Oh yeah, bro. When I heard that, I was like, I have to have this car, and literally bought it for $3,000. Super excited. It just has a little bit of front end damage on the driver's side, as you can tell, missing a wheel, and the rear one is obviously pretty bent up, so somebody really jumped a curb on this thing. But besides that, the car is pretty spotless, and it's a black, beautiful color, which of course this bumper will not work with that, and it's going to get painted. Now here's what I'm going to do for you guys at the end of this video, or as soon as we get this car running and driving and everything is ready to go, I'm going to share exactly how much it costs us from start to finish to purchase this car, to put the parts on it, to get it painted, to get it registered. But we will see if we're saving money, and if we are, how much can we save and how much can we flip this car for once we're done with it. So first things first, guys, we have to replace the hood strut, because obviously I can't do anything underneath the car if this thing is not holding up the hood. And I'm not using a broomstick like I have been doing, because I want to do it safely, man. And we're going to be under here for a minute, so I don't want to take a chance of I don't know, risking my life over a $3,000 car. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace it. It looks like it's just push pins, so it should be pretty easy to pop this bad boy out. Basic Audi things, just flathead screwdriver, get underneath there and pop it out, just like that, and it's off literally, what, 30 seconds if that. There it is. That one's on, and that one's on as well, guys. Boom, just like that, it's done. No more worrying about it. Ooh, stiff. I like that. And boom, once it's up, oh, it stays up, so we're good there. Now let's move on to the actual front end of the car. We actually already took the bumper off in the last one, so I don't think anything's actually, yeah, boom, look at that, nothing's actually holding it. Which makes it easier for this part of the video. We will be able to reuse the grill, which is a good thing, because these grills, for whatever reason, are stupid expensive. The next part is to get, of course, the headlights off and to get the bumper reinforcement off. So the positive thing about this accident, or I don't know if you can say positive, is the fact that it barely clipped this corner side and somehow it totaled it out. I'm hoping there's no suspension damage. I didn't get that far, but I did notice, like I said, the radiator over there, you can see the bottom support is actually broken off, or the end cap is, and the radiator has the very nice massive hole right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. So definitely radiator got busted. The condenser should be good, and the intercooler is good, so it literally just clipped it like an inch on that side and caused this much damage. Suspension does look good. It does sit a little bit lower on this side, but maybe it's because the spare tire itself, I don't know, we'll get into it once it's time, but really hoping that it do any damage. Now that I'm looking at it, this right here is kind of pushed up as well, so definitely smacked it hard on the top side, but I don't see anything broken or any tie rods or anything like that bent, so hopefully we are in the clear there. Let me see if it looks, yeah, it looks the same. So I'm really stressing and hoping that that part's fine, because I didn't consider that in part of the bill. But that's the part of buying a Copart and not being able to look at a car because it was in New Jersey. So hoping for the best that we sniped a good deal and got lucky. It does have a valid New Jersey inspection sticker, which is always a plus. It means that the suspension, there's no rust, brakes, everything is good because it passed it. So that's a big deal. I know they take those seriously up north. All right, we got that off. Now keep in mind, whenever you're taking this off, there's a few parts that actually run through a bumper reinforcement, which I've never seen before, but you got horn on each side, so make sure you unplug those. Then you have the hose for the headlight washers, which is pretty cool, and I'm glad mine aren't busted, I don't think, so that works out great. But make sure you unplug these. That is that's one headlight. Now let's get the second one out. Headlight number 2 is out too. Let's go. So let's move on to the next part of this disassembly, and that's going to be, well, I wanted to do the radiator, but since we're technically doing the radiator support as well, which I really do think we should, it's right here at the bottom, but as you can see where it's completely cracked through, so I don't know if we can reuse it or not. But to get to it, we do need to take, well, obviously the radiator off, but then this as well, the headlight brackets, which you could take off, I guess, together with the rest of them, but kind of tough, and I'd rather just do it separate. So I know exactly what I'm doing, how to put them back together. As you can tell, this one is actually cracked. I did not notice that, so we might just have to order a new one, but the damage is not that bad because it's only a piece right here, kind of the only one bolt that it's being affected. So let's look on this side real quick because it's better to see, but it looks like the bracket itself is only held up by like 3 bolts. You got one up here, you have one down there, which you can get through this really awesome hole. You can literally see the bolt there, and then I think one more bolt here maybe that adjusts it. Looks like it is sitting on the reinforcement there. So that's the 3 bolts you need to be able to take this bad boy off. So I went ahead and actually took out the brand new radiator support, which quite frankly is kind of weird, but it's plastic. Like, I was wondering why the box was so light. This thing is complete plastic radiator support. Usually this is made out of metal, but you know, check the factory one as well, and you know what, it's plastic also. That's kind of crazy that a radiator and all of this assembly sits on a plastic radiator support, which is kind of cheap if you ask me. Most other brands do metal for sure, and it does provide some sort of a reinforcement, but I took it out of the box to see how much damage we actually have or don't have. So as you can tell, this is the corner of the radiator support itself, and you can tell right here it is cracked. So this bracket underneath must have been kind of pushed in, and as you can tell right there, where I'm missing good chip, which is right here, and I'm guessing that is where that other piece sits on, which is this piece right here. So as you can tell, eBay parts, because again, plastic as well, which is crazy. So I'm guessing this somehow slides on here or sits on here somewhere. We're going to figure that out. And then of course radiator sit right there at the bottom of it. All right, so I got the bumper reinforcement frame rail brackets off, I guess you can say. So I always try to screw in the bolts and nuts back in the spots they go. It's a lot easier to assemble it back together afterwards. Last thing left on this side, on the passenger side, is, I think this is called the air injection pump or vacuum pump. Looks like 1, 2, 3, yeah, 1, 2, 3 bolts there, and this bad boy should come off the radiator support itself, and then we are ready to start pulling, man. There's not a lot of stuff on this side, honestly. Look at this right here, guys. This condenser at the bottom is completely rusty. Now obviously Freon runs through these lines here, and these fins just help cool the air off, but yeah, definitely need to replace this condenser as well. So I'm going to go ahead and order one. With 140,000 miles, this thing has definitely taken a beating. Literally had no Freon in it whatsoever, so we are going to go ahead and replace it. And look at that beautiful radiator. Literally looks perfect until you take a look out right down there. I don't know if you guys can see, and you see that pretty little hole there. Unfortunately, that's our issue. I just learned something new right now. If you are going to be taking this bad boy off, and you have to because you can't get to the freaking bolt because this is in the way, it's just the best engineering I've ever seen. I mean, just leave it up to Germans to make everything extremely complicating. This is actually a water to air intercooler, which is kind of cool if you ask me. So whenever you do take this hose off, you're going to be sprayed with a little bit of coolant, or in my case, a lot of coolant. And I'm guessing when I do the same thing right here, we're about to get a little waterfall. This hose off, this hose releasing all the freaking fantastic coolant, which we shouldn't have much in here, honestly, because, well, the radiator's busted. So lucky for me, I found the other radiator support for the driver's side and the passenger floorboard, so that's good that somebody picked it up. I'm happy for that. And I'm guessing, I don't know if you can see, nice little hole right there on the side of the radiator. I wish it wasn't there, but here we are today. And I'm guessing this was just something like this sitting right there, and it snapped off, but at least I have the bolts, the bushings, everything I need for the new radiator that's in that box. So literally the last thing left, as you can tell. Oh yeah, I'm glad we decided to fix that. Look at that, guys. There's no support at all at the bottom if we try to keep this radiator. Cracked across here as well. So literally 1, 2, and we are off. So while we have the whole front end taken off, it's kind of cool to be able to see what's going on here on front of the motor. From what I can tell, honestly, this blue paint literally marked everywhere on the engine itself, even some writing over here. I have a feeling this is a used motor that came out of another vehicle, and somebody swapped this in here, especially with 140,000 miles. I have no doubt that this motor has been replaced. In fact, I really feel I'm confident saying that, which is not a bad thing, because obviously with 140,000, it's the lifespan of an Audi motor is probably at its wits. So the fact that it's replaced is a good thing, but just looking at it here is a perfect opportunity to check everything out, make sure nothing's leaking. And quite honestly, the oil pan itself is in good condition. I mean, the belt is not that wore out. Everything looks good here. I'm not seeing any leaks anywhere, like valve cover leaks or anything. So I think we have a good thing going here. This is a stock pulley from what I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think it is. What we're going to do now is literally do everything in reverse. So we're just going to go ahead and mount the radiator support, put it right here, reuse all these bolts, obviously, because we have them already in the same spot, so we know where to unscrew and screw them back into the car itself. Ladies and gentlemen, the radiator is in, it's mounted, it's bolted on, so is the radiator support. Now it's all about just putting everything back together. The coolant hoses are also clamped in, so we're good there. This right here, look, man, Audi, I'm just gonna be honest with you, plastic is just not a good look for you, okay? Because literally I was just pushing this in and it broke off. Now granted, this is the aftermarket one. No, this is the new one. Oh my god. So the cheap one, no, this is the Audi product. Yeah, Audi, you kind of suck, man. For somebody that builds performance parts and vehicles, can we stay away from plastics, please? This is ridiculous. 3 days later, guys, but guess who got a brand new AC condenser here, ready to be installed? Slightly confused about these top little tabs here, or little, I don't know, man, these clips. I have no idea what they go for, because, well, the old one doesn't have it, even though it's raggedy and looks really bad and it's literally splitting apart everywhere. It doesn't have these, so I have no idea what these are for. Nothing goes on top of this AC condenser that I can think of. I mean, the intercooler sits at the bottom. That's where it hooks up, so not sure what these are for. Maybe you guys know. It is aftermarket, but literally this thing is cheaper than getting a headlight bracket for this car. It's, believe it or not, there's so many aftermarket options here, so great choice. It literally got here within 3 days, so I'm excited. We are going to take that piece of junk out of here, throw it to the side, and go ahead and install this. I'm not going to bore you guys with details. Hopefully we get a run in today. We'll do an oil change today as well to make sure everything is tip-top shape when we get it on the road. I do have the bumper getting painted right now. I don't know if it'll be ready today. Most likely not, but if it is, we'll definitely put that on as well. So this car, literally within 2 days worth of work, is going to be back on the road. And for whatever reason, it's considered a salvage title car, which is very unfortunate. Look who got the whole front end assembled, plugged up, screwed in, bolted on. Everything is completely done. The only wires are hanging for the front bumper, condensers plugged up, radiator support, everything is done. The reinforcement, even the headlight washers are good to go. Everything's bolted down. Literally, I just started adding coolant in here to get the whole system full. Make sure you use the European coolant. I may have overfilled it just a tad bit, but that is okay. Let's go ahead, start this bad boy up. Little El Manuel action. And this thing, by the way, guys, sounds so freaking good. Let's get ahead and put this key in here. We're good there. Parking brake is on. I'm gonna let the coolant system circulate, see if all those emergency lights go away, since it's got coolant now and it should be able to read it. Look at those headlights, man. All right, guys, so it's actually the next day now, and as you can tell, we got a brand new bumper here, fully painted. The metallic flake is completely matched in the paint as well. My neighbor did a really good job painting this thing. Of course, we're gonna go over all the pricing and everything, details at the end of the video, and I'll tell you exactly how much I spent to get everything done on this car. Everything is assembled. They even got the fog lights in there that I bought off of eBay with the grill covers and everything. We swapped over the grill from the previous bumper, and while that was happening, I did go ahead and get the car up on the little ramps here, and I'm starting to do an oil change. So I'll tell you this right off the bat, that is some nasty black oil. It was overdue by 1,000 miles already, so the previous owner, I don't know, hopefully they were planning to do it already. They weren't just slacking on it. And I did take the oil filter out, which of course is a paper cartridge here, so I just want to take a look at it, see if I'm seeing anything. kind of hard to do one hand, but honestly, I'm not seeing much when it comes to like flakes or anything in between. It looks super clean as it's a decent sized filter. I mean, for quality of it, for 140,000 miles, this Audi is in pretty good condition, I would say. Now, when it comes to an oil change itself, on these Audis and German cars, I do recommend doing Mobil 1 5W40. So it's a good heavy oil, protects for 10,000 miles guaranteed. I would never ever run it to 10,000 miles, every 5,000, no matter what. R8 or S4, it does not matter. That is the longest time I'll ever run a car without doing an oil change. We did get a Fram paper filter. That's the only one that had in stock, but I'm not worried about the filter as much as the oil. That is the good stuff. That is the same oil I use in my R8 as well. Same oil that they use, honestly, at the Audi dealership. You can get liquid moly as well. That's another good product, but this is for European car formulas. Ladies and gentlemen, it is officially done. Our 2013 Audi S4 is looking amazing. And yes, this is the third set of wheels that you're seeing on here. Look, man, it's been a long story. It took forever to figure out the fitment on these. Turns out A8L wheels will not fit on the S4. A3 wheels will not fit on the S4. So why don't we just take this bad boy on the road right now for a quick spin, see how it drives. I haven't driven it on the road at all yet. I have no idea how it drives. I don't know if it goes through all the gears, if the transmission even works yet. I haven't gotten that far, but I did want to repair it first to be completely drivable in the first place. But I am super excited. Let's hop in together, guys, and let's take this bad boy for its first spin after the accident. All right, now, first things first, well, safety first. So we got to get the seatbelt going. And then secondly is, well, we got to get the heated seats because it's cold. Today is 42 degrees right now at 2:30 in the afternoon. Don't make fun of me because I haven't driven manual in like 3 to 4 years. So if the shift's a little jerky, it is what it is. We're going to learn together. And get up to 3,000, shift, second gear, 3,500, shift to third. Smooth shifting through. Clutch feels good. We're in fourth gear now. A little wobble on the gears, I could tell, but fifth gear. We're doing 50 miles an hour in fifth gear at 2,300 RPMs. No vibrations, no noises. Ooh, these seats are feeling real good, man. Whoa, God, that's burning my back. It's been what, 30 seconds? Fifth gear doing 50. Can we go to sixth overdrive and we're good there? So, yeah, 2,000 RPM. We're coasting 55 miles an hour, no problems. Steering wheel is a little bit crooked, a little to the right. Obviously needs an alignment from a hit on the front left side there, so nothing bad. We just have a tire pressure monitor light on, obviously, because, well, we just swapped out wheels, so that's cool. Man, this car is comfortable. Heat, yeah, we got heat. We got some sort of a sound. Hold on, what is that? What is going on here? It was actually at this moment that I realized that I completely forgot to torque down the front left wheel lug nuts. So I am doing 60 miles an hour with a loose wheel. So yeah, that could have been bad. Let's try that again. I gotta say, this thing doesn't even sound that bad for stock exhaust. It shifts good. That supercharger definitely got some power, man. You can tell that instant torque is awesome. The instant horsepower superchargers, man, it's just hard to go wrong with them. I love them. And quite honestly, for a 2013 Audi, this thing looks really nice, man. It's comfortable. These seats are another level, man. Usually sporty seats, you're sacrificing comfort because, you know, bucket seats and all, but this thing is freaking awesome, dude. And they work very well for the heated seats part, and the heat's blowing, everything's working, man. I can't say that I don't like a single thing about this car. Imagine getting this bad boy to 500 wheel horsepower, because honestly, I think that's what my game plan is, and from what I read, it doesn't take much. We got to do a pulley, an intake, a tune, maybe down pipes, I don't know, and we're there. So it doesn't take much from this V6 to be able to make the power that we need to. But let's go ahead and pull over and see how much it actually cost us to build this car and fix it up and get it back on the road. And like I was saying, NADA value is about $13,000. So let's see if we actually saved money by doing it ourselves. I am still super shocked and excited that we got this bad boy running in 2 weeks, literally less than 2 weeks. And the only reason it took an extra a week, I would say, was because of, well, the wheels. It just took forever to find a set that actually fit. These are Rotiform 18x8s is what it said on there. At least that's what the guy told me he had it on his A6. So make sure if you do look for these wheels, you get a 66.5 center bore, or else it will not fit. So let's talk about the numbers, because obviously that is the most important part, right? Why spend money on Copart and IAI auctions if you're not going to make money, if you're going to lose money? And it's just easier to go ahead and go buy a car from a dealership and not waste your time rebuilding and 2 weeks gone and spending all the time with paperwork. But I will tell you, I've been doing this for about 10 years now. You can always save thousands of dollars doing it this way. So let's talk about the car itself. So the car I won for $3,050. After all the virtual bid fees and the Copart fees, it came out to like $3,800. $500 to transport it from New Jersey, which is not bad, honestly, because that's a long ways away, and that gives us about $4,300. When it comes to parts themselves, when we're talking about the radiator supports, the bottom headlights, the fog lights, the bumper, paint job, all that, you come out to roughly, with the car, you're at let's see, right around $5,900. So $5,900 got this thing running completely, done and over with, no issues, completely running. And as you can tell, everything looks good. That was on the stock wheels and tires. So now you got to add another $300 plus mounting and balancing tires. So now you're at $450. So $450 got this thing running on its own set of wheels, on its own shoes, as they say it. And quite honestly, these are nice shoes. And then you got to add in the registration, right? So obviously it's about $30 for North Carolina state inspection, and another $350 I think is what I paid to register this bad boy and get it road driven, road worthy. And then there's also the $200 fee that I have to pay to use my buddy's dealer's license, because obviously I'm not a certified dealer, so I can't just go and bid on myself. But the good thing about anybody that's interested in buying them from Copart, you can do it through Copart themselves. They have their own dealers that they allow you to use, and you can bid through them. You pay them the same kind of fee, $200, $300, and it gives you access to Copart itself, which is awesome. So the total with everything, with literally getting this thing driving, including oil change and everything like that, we come out to about $6,900. So $6,900 got us an 2013 Audi S4 all-wheel drive manual supercharged with 333 horsepower, and this bad boy looks good. Name another car that you can get for less than $7,000 registered, purchased with taxes, everything, and riding on the road, and it looks good, and it's a manual, and it sounds amazing, and it's got a supercharger on it, which is amazing. I had no idea that Audi even did something like this, but I'm excited. I'm happy that we did it. Now let's talk about pricing, right? So let's say, obviously, I'm going to flip it, I'm going to sell it, I'm going to make money on it. So what is the value of this car? NADA value is between $11,000 to $13,000 with 140,000 miles. That is what they're selling on. That is based on, I think it was like 80 different car purchase or sale history in the last 6 months. So these cars do sell pretty quickly, obviously. And $13,000, it would be for a very good condition car. In my case, I would say we're in a good condition, right? Because we got everything. The paint job looks good. We got a new set of wheels, new set of tires, oil changes done, maintenance is up to date. So for us, we're in a good position, but I would still consider the quality or the condition about good, because 140,000. Exterior does still have some scratches and things like that. Interior is completely spotless. You guys seen the fabric, the seats, everything works. The radio works, navigation works, heated seats work, sunroof works. It looks good. It just needs a good detail. So I would put this car at around $12,000 value. Now you're gonna say, Alex, this is obviously a salvage title car, and you're absolutely correct. It is salvage title. From my experience, especially in this market right now, with the way the car values are, especially for something a little bit more unique, I would say, that usually when I'm selling a salvage title car, I take off a few grand off the price. So if NADA retail value for a good condition car, clean title, is about $12,000, I can easily sell this thing for around $10,000, maybe $10,500. It just depends how far I want to push it and how much negotiation room I want to leave for myself. So if I sell this thing for $10,500 after a good detail, and it cost me about $6,900, let's say $7,000, I'm making $3,500 on this vehicle. I am literally making 50% more on this awesome Copart car that I get to enjoy for a little while I wait for the title to come in. So for the next 2-3 weeks, I get an awesome daily, I flip it, I make 3,500 bucks, and I move on to the next one. So now the $7,000 that I used to fix this car and purchase this car turned into $10,000. And now that $10,000 I can use and purchase the next vehicle and upgrade and keep going up to newer vehicles, more expensive vehicles. And quite honestly, you can get it up to, I don't know, an exotic level, to be honest with you guys. And that leads to my next question. Would you like to see a series where I start with, let's say, $1,000, $2,000, maybe $3,000 Copart car, and we flip our way into, let's say, a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, an Audi R8, a GTR, something like that, a Corvette, something cool? Would you like to see that on the channel where we reinvest that money and keep building on it and seeing how far we can get and how long it takes us to do so? We'll experience everything, doing the framework, doing the body work, paint work, obviously just putting it back together, airbags. We'll do it all, guys. What do you think? Do you want to see that? If you do want to see that, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of that idea. I will be more than happy to do it. As you guys know, I'm addicted to purchasing cars, so why not make a cool series out of it on YouTube? Thank you guys so much for watching. I enjoyed fixing this car. Literally 2 episodes and we're done. Unlike other channels where they do 13 episodes fixing it slowly, I don't play around, and I am super excited to go ahead and enjoy this bad boy. So I will see you guys in the next episode. Enjoy your cars, enjoy your lives, and take it easy. Peace.